What is up, everybody, and welcome back for another episode of the Up Tempo Podcast. I'm your host, Blake Lane, and tonight, like always, here with my co host, Dustin Smith, and we are here to talk a little Auburn basketball, falling to Tennessee 46-43 on the road Saturday night. And we're also here to talk about two big time commitments, one on the basketball side of things, one on the football side of things, Dustin. Pretty exciting news for the Auburn Tigers. Help is on the way. uh, but man, Dustin, first, I want to start this thing off with how's your weekend been, man? How you been doing? I know that basketball game was tough to watch, brother.
Both basketball games this weekend were tough to watch. Men and women just really
Mm,
struggling to make their free throws. You got to make your free throws, and the women's game was wild.
hmm
Missed two free throws at the end, and then had a turnover. Couldn't get the ball inbounded within 5 seconds, and just choked the game
mm,
away. And I felt like we had plenty of opportunities to win Saturday as well.
hmm
Yeah, I mean, when you when you only give up 46 points and lose. Um, so yeah, the basketball side was definitely frustrating, but I had a good night Friday night looking at the future
mm.
and saw a lot of things to be excited for coming up. And then, like you said, the big quarterback. And the good thing with that is, brother, is it's February and you've already got the quarterback for the class signed. He's got
hmm
all summer to recruit now. So, like you said, man, help is on the way.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. Dustin, man, I've had a pretty good weekend, other than Auburn falling to Tennessee 46-43, like we mentioned. And today I found out that I'm having a little boy. And I was
Hell
pretty
yeah.
excited about that, man. Still kind of shaking from it, still kind of nervous, that feeling of excitement. And just once we found out and the powder went up in the air, man, I look over and see my dad, and he comes running and hugging me, man. And, just that feeling of, I started crying, man, because I was like, I finally get to experience that passion of when I was a kid, my dad taking me to Jordan Hare Stadium and Plainsman Park and going to Tiger Walk and just all the Auburn athletics and
Yeah.
just being the biggest fan possible, man. And it's just it's surreal. And I'm still just so excited, man, through the roof. And so that was great this weekend. And man, I know you made a trip over here to Mobile Friday night to actually watch Labaron live in action. I tried to get in, but it was sold out. They wouldn't let me buy a ticket. They said it was super tight, wouldn't let me in. So it is what it is, man. But what did you see from Labaron in that game that impressed you, Dustin?
Well, first off, we talked about it off air, but congratulations.
Thanks, man.
Another Auburn Tiger on the way to the
Yeah,
family, and
yeah,
I know you're excited about that, man.
no
I
doubt.
think back to the memories of my dad taking me to my first game at Plainsman, my first game at Jordan Hare, and all that kind of stuff.
hmm
Bird Eves, so
Yeah, yeah.
R.I.P. Bird Eves,
Oh
and
man.
those are good memories, man. Then Auburn's all about family, and it's all about passing it down to the next generation. So I love that. I'm
hmm
happy for you, brother.
Appreciate that.
But yeah, made the trip. A longer trip than I expected. Y'all got multiple campuses at Cottage Hill,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Google didn't specify which one the basketball game was being held at, but
yeah.
got there just in time to not have a seat. And but hey, man, that worked out because I got to stand pretty much right next to Wes Flanagan by the time the fourth quarter rolled around.
Awesome.
And yeah, he stayed the whole game and then flew up in the morning. Just tells you how much these guys are working, man. But he's
hmm
been the main one recruiting LeBaron, so he wanted to be there for the entire game and all that. And I went up and saw LeBaron earlier this year, and it was one of them deals where the team he was playing, they just didn't have a whole lot.
hmm
So he put up like 48, and I saw the skill set, but I didn't get to see the intangibles.
Yeah.
So I remember telling you at the time, to be determined. Um, I got to see all of it. I got to see every bit of it Friday night. As
Mm.
you know, there's two twins at Cottage Hill, and I don't know their measurables exactly, but
Yeah.
these are some big ass boys, man. These boys are big.
Yeah.
One's committed to play defensive end at South or at UAB, and the other
hmm
one's committed to play tight end at South.
Yeah.
Big athletic. And then there was another kid that was committed to play football at NC State, and he was super athletic. LeBaron was severely outnumbered. I mean, he didn't have anybody helping him up until the third quarter. There had one kid come off their bench. Actually, I don't know the kid's name. Shout out to him. He probably poured in 14 in the second half and it got
Mm.
hot. But they were putting it was a triple trap. I mean, LeBaron comes across and there's two guys, and then they had another guy about 6 feet just kind of trailing if he broke through those guys, and probably 5 times he split that, shook the other guy, and then still got to the hole. Like I said before, handling and getting to the hole
Mm-hmm.
is just very Kyrie-esque. What he does when he gets up and absorbing contact, still able to do a variety of different things, right hand, left hand, in the air, no matter where he kind of is around the rim, still finds a way to put it in. The ball always tends to just roll around and fall in. Kind of, it just always. And then they were down 12 going into about 6 minutes to go,
Wow.
and there was a timeout, and so I'm standing right next to Coach Flan at this point, and it's LeBaron's family is sitting right in front of right. They're sitting in the chairs right in front of us. I'm standing on the wall, and I guess just from what I could gather, the gentleman sitting next to what was LeBaron's father was the guy that's been training him his whole life,
Mm.
and he turns around to Flan and to some other guy, I don't know who he was, that was sitting there, and said, "Y'all already know. Here we go." And Flan just kind of, yeah, I know. They, and to
Yeah.
me, I don't doubt how good the kid is, but he's just so outnumbered. Like, this
Mm-hmm.
Cottage Hill is clearly a better team with better athletes. Um, Once that other kid hit a couple of shots and they had to just not have five guys on one, it was still LeBaron taking on three. But um, man, he probably scored the last 10 points of the game. Um, it was unbelievable. And then he hits a shot. He hits a mid range shot, very nice. Pump fakes a three, gets to a spot on the mid range, bangs that, and then to get it to 69-69, comes down. He forces the stop, and then comes down, gets fouled. So he gets fouled with 14 seconds to go,
Yeah.
69-69, and something that we saw this weekend, and it haunts every Auburn fan. He calmly knocked down both free throws, didn't touch the rim. Didn't touch
Man.
the rim when, and like that, Cottage Hill was loud.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all had some gentleman dressed in a Cottage Hill tuxedo, and he was leading. He was leading all kind of chants and whatnot. It was a crazy atmosphere,
Yeah.
and LeBaron didn't flinch a bit, man, calmly. And then on the final possession, they come down, they set a screen. LeBaron runs right through the screen, steals the ball, dribbles the clock out.
Mm.
Just uh, if he's a 4 star, I don't know what a 5 star is.
Mm.
And by the time his senior year is done, I guarantee you he will be. And yeah, we have a lot to be excited there. He's the real deal, man. As far as on the court, off the court, intangibles, skills, everything. He is the total package.
Man, that's good to hear. That is excellent to hear. Help is on the way. Auburn picks up two big time guards last week for the 24
Mm-hmm.
class. Man, that is excellent news. I know after watching Saturday, we absolutely need it, Dustin. So we still got a
Yeah.
year to wait, but man, excited. I'm excited. I'm excited to hear this about LeBaron. I know he's a dog. And that's one of the big things that I've always liked about LeBaron is, like you said, him being able to get to the hole, draw the contact, finish with both hands. Man, you just watch him dribble the basketball, Dustin. It's so fluid. He
It's
can
effortless.
shoot. Yeah, man. I mean, he can shoot. He can do it all. Like you said, he gets to the mid range, picks a spot, hits. I mean, look. Everybody kind of knocks on him for his defense. I've heard people say, well, he don't play defense. Well, he's in high school too. Okay. But when the game's on the line, LeBaron makes a play on the defensive end, and
Yeah.
your best player makes big time plays and big time moments. So, I'm excited. I can't wait, man. But hours later, after
Mm-hmm.
LeBaron commits on Friday, we start hearing rumblings of Walker White could possibly
Yeah.
go to Auburn, man. And like everybody thought this thing was Clemson all the way. Like I saw people on Twitter saying, hey, it's Clemson. He's 100% locked in. It's Dabo. Like there's no way he goes to Auburn. And then, boy, here comes Hugh Freeze. All right.
Mm,
Dustin, how big is this commitment?
dude.
All right. You've already got your quarterback
Mm-hmm.
for the for this class. And he in his speech at his commitment, he already calls out a couple of athletes that he wants to go after. And he's
Yeah,
like, hey, I'm going
13.
after, yeah, he's like, I'm going after these guys. This is who I want to come to Auburn. So the 24 class, like, hey, come play with me. Like, we gotta bring this and we gotta get this thing going. Dustin, how big was this, man?
Man, pinch me. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
this is just unbelievable what it just continues to happen. And I think it's gonna take us some time to get used to this being normal.
yeah.
Like we'll sign a top 10, possibly top 5 class this year, and
Mhm.
then it'll still when it's happening next year, I'll still be like, man, is this really happening? Like
Yeah.
it's just been so long. This was Clemson's top prospect. This was Clemson's top guy. This is who they wanted. Don't make any
Mhm.
mistake. You know how you know the thing. Whenever people don't get somebody, well, we didn't want him. No. And it was funny because, like you said, it was no one really knew. You know, it was going out. Um, I saw Keith Niebuhr say a little while ago on their Auburn live show that the coaches didn't know.
Wow.
The only people that they had told was Clemson and Baylor because that was the other team in the top
Yeah.
three. But it was an Auburn Clemson race. And again, like we saw on Hugh of coming in and finishing out this class when he had so many flips, finishing out the 23 class, he did that quick. You know, that was a
Mhm.
quick relationship he had to establish with Keldrick Falk when Keldrick Falk was tight with those FSU coaches for years.
Mm.
Same thing here, Blake.
Yep.
Clemson's been on Walker White. They've been on him 2 years, you know. We look at the junior days and all that kind of stuff. Well, you know,
Mhm.
this will shoot freeze first. Dabo's been there. He's been doing those kind of things for a while, and Walker White's been at all those kind of things. He's been at Clemson and all those functions. They've been after this guy.
Mhm.
And in a short period of time, here we go. And the thing about this one is no one thought we had a chance.
Mm.
This
Mm.
everyone in the industry thought this was a Clemson lock.
Yeah.
It has been so long, probably since Derek Brown, since we've done that, since we've beat
Mhm.
out top-notch programs, a program that has recently put Deshaun Watson out. You just saw Trevor Lawrence is the truth. You
Mm.
just saw that they developed Trevor Lawrence and put him in the league and what he is. That
Mhm.
there's tangible proof of concept there. Now, yes, you can point to Malik Willis and things like that, but he's at a new place now. Dabo can say, I've done this here. And to come
Mm.
in and beat Clemson for their top guy, make no mistake about it either. Baylor's had a good offense. Baylor's got a good program over there as well.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're going to be Auburn, Baylor's not really going to be, you know, that's the team
Yeah.
we got to beat. But like still, um,
They've still been a top 15 program.
right. Like
Yeah.
it's nothing to, you know, to poo
Yeah.
poo is what I'm saying. And it's just huge because here we are in February and now the quarterback, and that's what all the skill guys want to see. Now
Absolutely.
you see Coleman over there at Phoenix City, the wide receiver from Fairhope that's committed to Bama for
Mhm.
now. These these are guys that he mentioned at the podium. He mentioned the offensive line, and here's the thing I like about Walker White's tape. When you see a guy that's 6'4",
Mhm.
215, 220 pounds, you think, okay, pocket passer. Just kind of like the Adrian Posse, who was our commit in this class that decommitted with the whole Harson deal.
Yep.
But here's the thing: when I watch this film, dude, I'm like, he almost had 1,000 rushing yards. He can run the football.
Can run it.
He's
Yep.
got some wheels. His running style is kind of that of a Trevor Lawrence. Maybe he's actually I would say he's a tad bit better
Mhm.
of a runner than Trevor Lawrence. Like, and he's more willing to do it, at least on the high school level.
Yeah.
But his strength is his accuracy, man. Go watch his highlights. Go watch the back shoulder fade. To see a 16-year-old making some of those throws, it's all there, man. He makes there's a post corner route that he threw where it was just it takes your breath away. It's like, oh, okay. That and right now he's around 6 to 7 on all the list as high school quarterbacks go. That's because the level of competition in Arkansas is not necessarily the best.
Yeah.
Whenever he gets into these camps and some of these circuits, these elite wait till he goes to the Elite 11 later on in the summer.
Mm.
And I get you, he'll pop up.
Mm.
He probably won't get a 5th star because of the competition in Arkansas. but I guarantee you he'll be a top 5 quarterback before it's all said and done. And now you have a guy, and hey, we got to touch on it because we're starting to see this. Malik Autry, he alluded to this, and Jaden Lewis. Everybody that committed this week said this about Hugh Freeze. They talked about the religious aspect of it, him being a man of faith, and how important that was to them and their family. And then Walker White's family was very outspoken about the redemption story of Hugh Freeze, how they like the fact that he made mistakes and is getting a second chance. And they want to be a part of, and Walker wants to be a part of that redemption story. And so what people were trying to say was going to be a negative is actually turning into a positive. And if you're an Auburn fan out there, and whether you're a Christian or not, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Just think about it from you know the area. You know this is the Bible Belt. You know you're already seeing it. This will work.
Yeah.
Hugh fits. And one final thing before we get off this, Walker White said the main thing that stuck out to me, he said, was when he walked on that stadium and they had his name up on the board, the way they roll out the red carpet for these big recruits. And he just kind of saw Jordan Hare empty with the lights, and he just kind of imagined what that could be. And he said it felt different to him than the other places he visited. And I want to bring that up because even when we're at our lowest point, and me in your lifetime, and a lot of our listeners, this is the lowest Auburn's ever been football-wise in our lifetime. 9 straight years with at least 4 losses, and we just missed a bowl game. Jordan Hare still got that magic, baby. It's still
man.
got that pull.
I believe it was his mom when she posted it on Twitter, and she said, my son told me that the minute that he walked out onto the field and he stood under the lights and everything and right there, and he knew that this was the place, and that just Jordan Hare it speaks for itself, man. We know the atmosphere, and especially at night, the voodoo that place has, it's incredible. If you've never been to Jordan Hare Stadium, let me tell you something. Pick you a night game and get over there. Now they even have the light show going on and swag surfing in the fourth quarter, man. I mean, it's special. It is special. A great place to be. And as far as Hugh Freeze goes, Dustin, look, man, we knew it was coming. All right.
Yeah.
And another thing I'm going to say on this podcast, and I'm going to keep hammering it home. We remember who you are.
Yeah.
We remember who you are when he got hired, and you said, this is a terrible hire. Auburn can't do this.
Yeah.
Do not get on social media and act like you back this man from the get-go.
They weren't even coming, Blake. They weren't coming no more.
Yeah. Don't be in Jordan Hare Stadium when Auburn's 9-1 or 10-1 or 9-2 or whatever. Don't come in there when Alabama comes to town this year and the West could possibly be on the line. Don't show up. Like, I don't want you there. All right. Because now you see all the success. And I had a dude on Twitter. He retweeted my tweet the other day. I said, y'all are all happy now that Hugh Freeze has been hired. Or I said, I remember when all of y'all were mad as, and I said, when he was hired, but now y'all are all happy as that he's doing what he's doing, And a dude said, well, he hadn't even coached a game yet. Bro, don't sit here and act like Hugh Freeze can't coach in the SEC, Dustin. We've watched it. We watched it. We've saw it live in color. All right. Don't sit here and act like he can't win ball games. He won at Ole Miss, dude. He had Ole Miss, the number 5 team in the country at one point. He was pulling in the Kandichi brothers and all these elite receivers. Yeah, AJ Brown and all these elite receivers. Don't sit here and act like the dude can't coach football, man. I'm sick of that crap. No. Oh, we hadn't even coached a game yet. Get out of here, man. Yeah. It's coming.
He never won less than 8 games at a Liberty program that just started playing football D1.
And that speaks volumes, bro. And then I love it when they say, well, his last game at Liberty, he got beat 42-13 or whatever it was. Like, bro, he told his players in the locker room before the game that he was basically leaving. Okay. He told them before they played, he was like, hey, I've had interest in another job. Like, this could be my final game at Liberty. Like, you think those dudes were locked in on playing football that day, Dustin? Absolutely not. Like,
there was already discussions. There was already discussions even before that. I mean, we knew Hart was out, and I mean, so that was.
Come on, man. Like, don't sit here and act like this dude's a clown, man. He made a mistake. Like, I had a guy on Twitter. yesterday he was like, "Oh, sleazeball freeze," and I was like, "Why do you call him a sleazeball?" And he was like, "Well, if you don't know the past at Ole Miss, then I'm done here." I was like, "Yeah, I know the past, but it was 8-9 years ago. Let it go. All right, everybody deserves a second chance, man. And for you to sit here and down this dude and judge him and act like you're the most perfect human being, it's absolutely insanity. Like we sin every day, all right? And I've said this on this show time in and time out. If his wife can forgive him and his
Yep.
children can forgive him, then so can all of us, all right?
Yep.
And I forgive him, all right, for
Yeah.
what he done. It's over. It's in the past. He moved on. He is a different man, and I'm sick of hearing about it, man, because I want him to get into Jordan-Hare and prove everybody
Oh.
wrong that has doubted him, Dustin.
Oh, for sure. And like you said, if his family forgives him, and if Walker White's family is okay sending their 17-year-old son
Yeah,
to
come
play
on, man.
for him and to learn from him, and they're a very religious family, they want him and they want Hugh to be a spiritual figure to their son. If they're comfortable with all those things, but you're not comfortable going to a game, then don't come to the game. You're not the person I want sitting beside me anyway. That's just
Mhm,
that. Don't come on October 21st when Ole Miss comes into town and Lane's been tweeting all week,
mhm.
and the whole college football world's watching this game because it's just the storylines alone.
Yep.
Yeah, don't when it's just the hypest night game of the season in Jordan-Hare that night. I don't want to see you. I don't want to
Yeah.
hear you. And like you said, I see you. And it's funny to watch these people now too because they don't even talk about football. They stick to just basketball. It's like you're just gonna ignore it. Like
Mhm.
it's fine. We don't need you.
I heard that, brother, and I'm right there with you. I agree 100%. I can't wait for the fall, man. I'm super excited. I know baseball season's coming up. A-Day, that's going to be on the
Mm.
Auburn campus here soon, man. A lot of big things coming for this football program. I'm excited as hell, man. But let's get into the 46-43 loss in
Yeah.
Knoxville Saturday, man. That was absolutely dreadful to watch. It was tough. It was painful, as you see there on the screen, a 3-point heartbreaker. We will talk about the Wendell Green play at the end. Was it a foul? Was it not a foul? I know what both of us think, but we'll give our opinion on it. But first, man, Auburn falls to 17-6 on the year and 7-3 in the SEC. Dustin, man, Auburn comes out hot to start. All right,
hmm
but man, after that, how dreadful was this to watch, man? I mean, just an awful performance.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you already put up 43 points First Northwestern. How in the world do you do it again?
Mm,
Like, I, the play that stands out to me is Jalen missing that layup. That to me was like the
yeah.
whole game. I mean, you're wide open under the basket. Just go off the glass, dude. Just go
Yep.
off the glass.
Yep.
And he goes long on a bunny 2 feet from the rim. I just don't get it, bro. Uh, I'm really speechless on it. I really am.
Bro, I didn't know if we were gonna get to 38 points for a minute. Like I honestly didn't. I was like, this is the most embarrassing thing I have watched in a long, long time. And this is we're gonna get to the foul, but this is the thing that really sticks out to me. And everybody says, oh well, the foul at the end. But here you go, Dustin. Here you go, man. This right here. Auburn shot
Mm.
23% from the field and 11% from the three. How many threes did we miss, Dustin?
25.
Yeah, yeah. Come on, man. All right. So we're obviously not a 3-point shooting team. We're jacking up 25 trays. We're not even coming close to hitting trays. Like on the road, Auburn cannot shoot the three ball. You get into Neville Arena, yeah, they can shoot it a little bit, but that's at home. Guess what? When you go on the road, it's ugly. It's ugly. And one thing that really sticks out to me, Dustin, is you got guys like Zep Jasper,
Hmm.
who for the third straight time out has given you absolutely nothing.
Yeah,
And we
goose
talk
eggs.
about it. We talk about it, man. Wendell Green has zero help at the guard spot. All right. And yeah, KD, what he gave you 10, but he only made two shots. I mean, it's it's a struggle, man, watching that. What was wrong with Jalen? I mean, what he make? One shot, two shots,
Yeah, 1 for 10, 2 for
one
10,
for
something like
yeah,
that.
1 for 10 or something like that. Flan, I think Flan was 1 of 6 from three. We had two people make a three, man. I think what Wynn made two and Flan made one. 1 of 6 from three, Alan Flanagan. I don't I don't know, man. I think this team really looks at Wendell and says, "Hey, he's got to get 15 to 20, and if he doesn't, it's shot." Like we know Johni, we know he's going to do what he does, but like you said, all fair, man, he was gassed because not only was he having to do it on the offensive end, he was also having to do it on the defensive end, and with no Dylan Cardwell,
Yeah.
it was even worse, bro. And you made a great point to that, and I wanted to get that in this piece right here, man. Like missing Cardwell was huge.
Yeah, in a 3-point game, I mean, think of
Mm.
all the misses that we had. What
Yep.
does Dylan do best?
Cleans it up.
Cleans it up, comes in there and gets one of those wide open layups that
Yep.
somebody will miss because Wynn and KD will miss wide open layups. And even, Jalen got in on it. Even Johni got in on it.
Yep.
But whenever they do, if Dylan's in the game, he's usually there trailing to come clean that up. And we got out rebounded as well. So when
Yep.
you just add up just a 3-possession game where you only score 43 points, yeah, I look at
Mm.
that and say 12 solid minutes from Dylan Caldwell could make the difference
Mm.
and probably would have.
And you know another thing, Dustin. Yohan Traore, 0 points. All right.
Yeah, of
Semo,
course.
0 points. Trey Donaldson, 0 points. Leora Berman, 0 points.
Yeah.
So all you got was 10 from KD off your bench. Everybody else gave you nothing. And then you get 0 from Zep. I, I'm speechless. I don't even know what to say, man. It was that bad. And like, dude, the sets, like we just found ourselves not even moving without the basketball. Like everybody's just standing around watching Wendell dribble. It was just the ugliest offensive basketball game I've seen in a long, long time. And not just on Auburn's side. Tennessee was terrible as well.
No, it sucked. It was
I
it
mean,
was bad.
it was pathetic, man. Like what we shoot from the free throw stripe? What, like 70%? Let me see here. Let me see if I can pull it up here real quick. From the free throw stripe, we went 14 of 19. All right. Once again, man, we're leaving points at the free throw stripe. You missed 5 free throws. Like, come on, man. And you mentioned it earlier, watching Labaron step up and sink 2 free throws, crowd going nuts. All right. I, I don't get it, man. I really don't. Like, make your free throws. We get beat on the boards. I mean, everything was just an L Saturday. It was a straight up L, Dustin.
Yeah. The thing that's so frustrating about the thing that's so frustrating about the missed free throws, and like there was one play where KD comes down, he's trailing, and he gets the
Mm-hmm.
ball wide open 3 layup. There's probably 3 or 4 minutes left in the game. Wide open. Nobody within 10 feet, man, and he misses it. And it's just like, dude, you don't ever hit that shot, bro. You never hit it.
Yeah.
And like no one on this team ever hits it. Like going back to last year, even with Jabari, we let Wendell take all the last shots half the time. Like
Yeah.
it was ridiculous. But yeah, man, we're not really good in these close games right now. And it's especially like on the road or on, anywhere away from Neville, neutral, wherever.
Yeah.
And it's extremely frustrating. And we haven't been, and it's not for like it wasn't a lack of effort.
Yeah.
Like we played our asses off. We tried our best, but like we weren't getting the loose balls. Like, okay, so I don't know how many times exactly this happened, but it seemed like it was at least a dozen times where Tennessee got at least 2 shots on a possession. At least
Mm-hmm.
4 or 5 times they got 3. That's the equivalent of sacking a quarterback on second down, getting a team to 3rd and 16, and then giving up 17.
Yep. Yep.
Or fouling with 3 seconds to go when you've played good deep. There was one time where we got a stop. They got the rebound. We
Mm-hmm.
stopped them again. They got the rebound, and then with 3 seconds to go, Zet fouled, and they
Mm.
make both free throws. So
Mm.
they end up getting 2 points out of that possession when you played a good defense for over a minute because you're
Yeah.
not rebounding. Like that's the difference in a 3-point game. And when it happens so much, like on the giving up a big third down and long in football, it just kills you. You go, damn it, man. Like it's such a momentum killer when it happens. And it happened to us time and time again Saturday.
Yeah, man. Like I said right here on this graphic here with Johni, man, he led Auburn with 11 points, 5 of 9 from the field with 9 rebounds, man. Just talk a little bit about his performance, what he did. Also on the defensive end of the court, man, I thought he played a special game, but once again, you could tell without Dylan, he was gassed at the
Yeah.
end. It was a struggle for him down there, and he had a heavy task, man. Yeah, I mean, Tennessee's really good inside, and I thought Jonah played his ass off.
Yeah, he did. And he was getting pushed off of the entire game. There was probably 15 fouls that weren't called. So yeah,
Hmm.
props to him for that. Old boy for whatever his name is for Tennessee. Um, I don't know how many rebounds he got where he didn't forearm Janai out the way.
Hmm.
So yeah, the fact that Janai was able to get 9 and he was completely gassed and still stayed in there and stayed physical, and we know Janai's a dog. Um, I mean, and 11 and 9 statistically has been a low night for him. That's below his
Yeah,
averages. So yeah, another solid performance from Janai, and he's the one guy where it's like, okay, well, we know we're going to get. He's not going to give us goose eggs.
no doubt, no doubt. Jonah, he brings it night in, night out, man. Look, it's another taunting task for the Auburn Tigers, Dustin. This week, you got at Texas A&M, and you get Bama at the crib. I mean, there's no way you can go 0-2 this week. You gotta at least split 1-1, man. What game this week do you think Auburn has the better chance of picking up a dub, man?
Alabama.
Alabama?
Now, I will say this. I know that Buzz has our number. I know we don't play good on the road. We just
Yeah,
saw that. Uh, I don't know if Texas A&M is that much better than us to where they beat us twice. Now they
yeah,
might because they stole one at home, but like I don't know if there's a gap between these two teams. Like I'm not going to be shocked if we win that one and then lose to Alabama. Like either way, I look at it like this, bro. We got 8 games left, and let me see if I can pull that up real quick. The last 8, I believe Ole Miss is in there, and
yeah.
there's like one other team where it's taking me, but they're like okay, but the rest is. But where we sit, I look at it and I say, like, 3 is probably what we can afford to do, but 4-4 be. So let's see, we're going to A&M on Tuesday, and then it's Alabama, and then
Hmm.
or I mean, excuse me, then Bama comes to us, and then we get Missouri at home, and then we go to Vandy on February 18th and February 22nd. We got to go 2-0 that week, bro.
Hmm.
Or games we've got to win, and then it's at Rupp, at Bama, and you finish out with Tennessee at home.
Hmm.
So it's it ain't gonna get easy at all. But I think that if we go 3-5, we'll be okay. Because see, what are we? We're 6, right? 17-6. So that would put us
Yeah,
at 11. Yeah, that's dangerous. We need to go 4. We need to go 4-4. We need to go 4-4 in
no
these
doubt.
8. So I'm just gonna say I'm gonna say Bama at home because you got game day coming. Um, even when we sucked, we would sell out for Bama. I don't have to explain what that is. So
Yeah.
that's gonna be. I think we split with Bama. I think both teams win at home. So I'll say that one. But I think we have a good possibility of going 2-0 this week. Just as we got a good possibility of going 0-2.
Mm.
Would you be surprised either
I
way,
agree.
Blake? Would you be surprised either way? I would be kind of
No,
surprised if we went
like
2-0, but I wouldn't be shocked.
I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked at all. I'd be shocked. I'll be honest, man. I'll be shocked if we go 0-2. And the reason I say that is because I don't think that's this team's DNA. Like, I think they're going to get a dub this week. All right. I think this team. There's something about this team. There's something in there. Going 0-2 just doesn't – it don't sit right with me for this team. And Auburn needs a big road win. Texas A&M would be a big road win.
Oh,
Then,
I'd be over the moon.
like you said, game day at Auburn, at Neville Arena, you know it's going to be absolutely insane. Your biggest rival – probably going to be the number 2 team in the country when the polls come out tomorrow. We've already seen them be number 2 and drop one on the road this year. So, I think it's going to be bananas this coming Saturday. So, I don't know,
Especially if
man.
you win.
Yeah, and I would be a little shocked if this team went 0-2. I would be hurt. Let's say that. I would be hurt if they went
Yeah.
0-2 because then that would take me down the road of, is this a tournament team? Like, I
Yeah,
would
for sure.
really start thinking like we're on that line, man. Like, we got to start winning games. Like, we got to go to Rupp and win. We got to beat Tennessee at home because you still got to go to Alabama and play in the airplane hangar and all that. So, I don't know, man. But one last thing before we get out of here, Dustin. It was the biggest topic, man. Was it a foul? Was it a foul? Wendell Green Jr., the last possession of the game, Auburn trying to tie things up. He comes around, gets the ball at the 3-point line on the wing, man. And what's the kid from Tennessee's name? Uh, I can't remember. Awesome Kwasamwa or whatever his name was. He goes up. Wynn lets the 3 fly. He is obviously in his landing space, and Wynn wraps his legs around him. Ball hits the rim. He almost hit the shot. He
Yeah.
almost hit the shot, bro. But Wynn wraps his legs around him, falls to the ground. Nothing's called. BP, the whole entire Auburn bench, goes absolutely bananas. Was it a foul, Dustin?
Of course it was a foul.
Man.
It was a foul whenever the LSU shoved Bryce Brown in the back and back in 2019 in a very
Yeah.
similar situation. Yeah, man. If what Samir Dowdy did in the Final Four game versus West Virginia or versus Virginia was a foul, then that most certainly was a foul. If what Wendell did, if what you called Wendell for earlier in the game on a closeout 3 was a foul, then yeah, that certainly was a foul. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. We always seem to be on the wrong end of these things.
Yeah.
It just always seems to be us. And we've already laid out everything that Auburn could have done. So
Yep.
this is not blaming the officials. Like if we played halfway competent, like if we looked like if some of our play, if we looked like D1 athletes on a couple of plays, like, yeah, I don't know. I'm right underneath the basket. Let me just lay it in. If we just did a couple of those, we're not even in this position. But that doesn't change the fact that Wendell should be shooting 3 free throws. Would he have made them? I don't know about that. But it doesn't matter. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you fouled him, clearly fouled him. Like that, I don't know what you're looking at. Like, what is the justification? How do you walk away from that with it not being a foul?
Absolutely.
I don't even get it. And it ended up working out, but it's just like the 5-second call that they missed about a minute before that. It's like, bro, what are you talking about? A time? No. So we're always on the wrong end of this, and I don't even know like what to say about it. It's just it's beyond frustrating, and a lot of 4-letter words to go with it, dude. Like, and it just goes in the bank. It just goes in the memory bank of like another
Yeah.
time. It's just here. It's just another time, man. Like, of course, we didn't get that call.
Dustin, let me ask you something because I got a little something I want to say about it. But do you think Wynn's flop earlier in the game had a little bit to do with the no call right there at the end?
I think that SEC officials are completely incompetent. I don't think that
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if they're capable of remembering that deep into the farther into the game. I don't know if they have the IQ or the thought process to go back more than
Yeah.
15 minutes. What's the fish off Finding Nemo? Dory.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're. I
Yeah.
think we just got a bunch of Dories out there, dude. Or you
Oh,
ever seen the Adam Sandler movie with Drew Barrymore?
what was it, 51st Dates?
Yeah, 10
Yeah.
Second
Yeah.
Tom. Yeah, hi, I'm Tom. Yeah, there's a bunch of 10-second toms out there, dude. These freaking people suck, man.
Here's my thing, man. And I went on TikTok last night with the Tennessee guy and everything, and he's super cool guy, and he wants to come on the show and everything, and talk about Tennessee and Tennessee football. And I was like, yeah, man, we'd love to have you. But a couple of Tennessee fans got in there, and they were like, oh, it was a no foul and everything. And I'm like, how? Explain to me how it was a no foul. And they was like, well, you set an illegal screen on Ziegler for Wendell to even get open for that shot. And I was like, an illegal screen. And I was like, I've watched the play 35 times. Please point out an illegal screen or what you were watching. Your homerism is coming out. Like you're literally spilling orange everywhere because I don't know what you saw in that final play. And they were like, well, he went straight up. And I was like, first off, all right, when Wynn went up for the shot, okay, he stepped into Wendell's landing spot. All right. And this rule over the past 5 years in basketball, NBA and college, has been that you have to give the shooter the ability to land. All right. If Wendell lands right there, he possibly breaks his ankle.
That's what he
Okay.
said. That's what he tweeted out.
That's exactly what he tweeted out. He possibly breaks his ankle there. That's a foul. Okay. He was like, well, there was no contact made besides Wendell wrapping his legs around him. I'm like, hold on. Take away contact. Okay. It's the fact that he did not have the ability to land as a shooter. And the last 5 years, that has been the biggest emphasis in the game is giving the shooter the ability to land on their own 2 feet. And Wendell did not have that. He said, I had to wrap my legs around him because I did not want to land and roll my ankle and possibly break it and be done for the year. So that's a foul. It's a foul. All right. And like you said, would Wendell hit all 3? I don't know. Is it why we lost the game? No. But if you're going to call KD Johnson's 10 minutes earlier, all right, you got to call that on Wendell. You can't be two-sided. All right. You brought up a great point with the 5-second thing. Look, I counted 5. One official counted 5.
Yeah,
Everybody in the arena counted 5. And
dude.
out of nowhere, you say Rick Barnes got a timeout. Come on, man. Like, come on. All right. And it brings me back to something where, like we always talk about, man, officials have to start getting either fined. You have to go to the media after the game and explain yourself.
Yes, bro.
Has the SEC even come out with a statement of how they
No.
missed the call? No. All right. So you have to, their officials should have to go after games and answer questions just like players do, Dustin.
Yep.
Because we're getting to the point, man, where why do you think everybody says, hey, man, sports is rigged? It's rigged. All right. It feels like it's scripted. All right. Because you have stuff like this, man. You have things where you look at this and you say, well, they didn't call that a foul because where were they playing at? They were playing in Knoxville. All right. You're not going to get that call. So I don't care if it's the first second of the game or the last second of the game. If you're going to call it, call it. All right. So when KD stepped into their guy, didn't allow him to land, you called it. But then 10 minutes later, when Wendell goes up for a shot, you don't call it. We either have to start fining, suspending, or these officials have to go to the podium and answer questions just like players do. Because if you're going to put a player in a tough spot to go to media and have to answer questions after they just lost with towels over their heads and everything like that, then damn it, officials need to do the same thing because I want to hear what you have to say and what you saw. Because Bruce Pearl was livid, though. I thought Bruce Pearl, I mean, he was on his back saying, hey, where's the foul? Just, like I said, it's not why we lost, but you got to call it, man. You got to call it. I'm sick of watching it. SEC officiating is bad in pretty much, it's bad in football too. We see it all the time. But, man, these guys are rough. They are rough.
It's ridiculous. And it'll be 3 minutes in the game. It'll be a 50-50 ball, and you go to the monitor and you review it for 3 minutes. Or somebody will dunk and he'll look at the person he dunked on and he'll make a face, and we review it for 4 minutes.
Yeah.
But then we can't review that.
Yeah.
We just out of here. Nope. Y'all done. We just out of here. It's crazy, bro.
Yep. Yep, 100%, Dustin. But man, that's going to wrap it up for tonight. I wanted to give you the floor before we get out of here. Your last word, like we always do, man. Plug anything you got, Dustin. Love to hear it from you, man.
Oh, just follow me on Twitter at dmcshaw28 and follow us on YouTube, man. Like and subscribe. Spotify,
Yeah,
Apple, everything. Like y'all know, man, we got big things coming up for baseball season. We're what 2 weeks away,
yeah,
so
man.
excited to get at it, bro.
Yeah, man. Got to get Lindsey on here. I got to DM him tomorrow. Gonna want to talk to him about Auburn, preview the Auburn Indiana series, see what he's got to say about that, see what Auburn's lineup, who they plug in with all the guys that they had departing, the pitching staff and everything. Dustin, it's going to be a cold one for the Indiana series, man.
Yeah, a lot of new faces.
Yeah, man. Just booked my room tonight. So I'm excited about that. Dude, one thing I was kind of talking the other night, and I don't know if I was like really serious about it, but I would love to like bring my stuff up to Auburn and possibly do a pod inside of Plainsman Park. Like maybe after the Friday night game or Saturday game, just possibly like sit down and see if we could do one inside of Plainsman. Like I think that'd be sick, bro. I don't know who we would have to talk to like try to get that, okayed with, but I think that would be huge, man.
Yeah, be tight.
So I'm excited, man. Baseball season just right around the corner. Auburn athletics on the up. We're excited with this podcast. We appreciate each and every one of you listen. Like Dustin said, go follow us, subscribe. We're almost to 100 subscribers on the
Yeah.
YouTube, so we've really been pushing that, man. The It's been growing. It's been growing. So we really appreciate it. And with that being said, we're out of here. We will catch you on the next one. War Damn Eagle.